Well, hello. My name is Matt Edmondson, and you are listening to the eCommerce podcast. Yes, you are. I've been in e-commerce since 2002, and these days I partner with e-commerce brands to help them grow, scale, and exit. And if you'd like to know more about how that works, and if we could actually work together, head over to the website ecommercepodcast.net, where you'll find all kinds of information about that, and also all kinds of information about the show, all the past episodes, the hundreds of them that we've been doing this now. It's like 6 years. Can you believe it? So there's a lot of cool content on there. So you can check that out at ecommercepodcast.net. It'd be great to see you on that site. So do come join us. Now, today, I'm talking to Shauli, all the way from New York, who has braved the ills and swallowed some modern medicine and forced himself to come onto the show. What a trooper this chap is. Shauli, welcome to the show, man. Great to have you. I would ask you how you're doing, but it's kind of okay.
Yeah, exactly. Getting better. Thanks for having me. It's a real treat, real honor. So thank you.
No, it's great to be here. Now we were talking, Shauli, before we hit the record button. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say before we get into this, if you are watching this on YouTube, you're going to go, Matt, you're not wearing your usual clothing. I'm in fact wearing a Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl winning jersey. And is that because I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan? Well, yeah, why not? You know, living in England, we like American football. But a good friend of the show, he's been on the show before, and a really good friend of mine now, Brett Curry, from OMG Commerce, sent me this, and it arrived this morning. He sent one for me and one for my daughter, so we have matching Kansas City Chiefs football jerseys. So I thought I'd wear it in honor of him and just give a brief shout out. Brett, you are a legend. Thank you so much for my shirt. We always like gifts. And Brett sent me in one for Zoe. So, yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, sorry, Shauli, I just got a bit carried away there. I realized with the screen, I'm like, visually, things are a little bit different today. And by the way, are you a Chiefs fan? Do you do American football? Am I offending you wearing this top?
You're not offending me, actually. I'm getting into American football. So this is something, always been a soccer fan, but soccer or English football fan. But this is, I'm doing my first steps into American football. I love that so far. I'm still trying to understand the different teams and so on. I live in New York, so more of a Giants fan here, but or like starting to do. But yeah, it's fascinating actually.
Yeah,
I watched the last Super Bowl, loved it. It was I would say a great time with friends and family, so it was nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and can I ask what English team you support? Actually, real football, because we play with our feet. But that's the next sensitive question we will not get into right now.
Arsenal.
Well, it's been great having you on the show. Thanks for joining us. Arsenal. If you don't know already, I'm a big Liverpool fan.
I'm sure you are.
I live in Liverpool. Yeah. So yeah, it's the reason why I chose to live in Liverpool was because of the football team.
Right. Okay.
So, which I thought was as good a reason as any to choose where to live.
So you're not born and raised in Liverpool?
No. If I was born and raised in Liverpool, I'd probably be talking like this, mate. Exactly. And so, no, I've lived here 33 years now, actually, a long old time. Came for university and have sort of stayed.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, we digress. Let's jump into it. Hey, enough about football. Although I could talk about it all day. So you're in New York. SalesRep.ai is the name of your company. So guess what they do, ladies and gentlemen? AI is in the title. And we were talking before we hit record and before I started this whole rabbit trail about how, you obviously work with a whole bunch of people around the world, various different sizes of e-com businesses. And I asked you a simple question. If you could solve what is the key problem, the common problem that everyone comes to you with, what would that be? And Shauli, your answer was?
Helping with sales, basically increasing sales. That's number one. Number one problem that we're trying to help merchants is to increase their top line and get more revenue into their businesses. Mm-hmm. Just want to say one correction. The company's name is Rep AI. It's HelloRep.ai.
Oh, sorry. What did I say?
sales reps. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
You know what? I've even got your website right in front of me. I'm really sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I should probably go get my glasses checked, I think is the...
That's okay. That's okay. Don't ever make that mistake again.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got your address, dude.
Liverpool.
Oh, wow, that's unbelievable. Sorry, hellorep.ai. I'm very sorry.
Exactly. That's all good. It's all good. So yeah, the number one problem we saw, my co-founder and I, 5 years ago, we were big fans of the e-commerce space, always there. My co-founder has been in agencies and helping retail brands forever. Mm-hmm. I come from the tech side. And the number one problem we saw 5 years going back is that we love the experience of brick and mortar stores. How you go into a brick and mortar store, you get concierge help, white glove support, someone helping you with whatever you need, recommending products, answering any questions. And when you dive into an e-commerce online store, you're there by yourself. No one is there to help you. There's images, nice. They might be personalized, but that's where you go, right? All you have are the search and the menu. That's it. And then we thought to ourselves, how amazing would it be if we can bring that experience from brick and mortar, like really simulate the brick and mortar experience, bring it online. And, you obviously can't do that with people because it's just going to be a lot of people doing that role for any visitor that comes in. And we said, okay, how if we can bring AI to the mix and give that experience and really treat the AI or train the AI to do the same stuff as a brick and mortar sales assistant would do. And that's where we came with the idea. 2 years in of developing the technology, ChatGPT came on with their amazing AI and let us actually wave or ride their engine and give that experience to merchants. So we came out with our solution in 2023, and ever since it's been amazing. 2023,
it's only yesterday, but it feels like decades ago in the world of AI because it's changed so much since 2023. Yeah. And this is really, this is sort of the philosophical question, isn't it, about what you guys do and whether an e-commerce site needs it. Because you're right. I think about the amount of e-commerce websites I go to and I don't know them. I have no feel for them. I either like their product or I don't. And one of the questions that we have wrestled with, I think, in e-commerce over the years is how do I connect with customers? So you have a lot of founder-facing brands who do crazy videos or do the social media just to have that connection, with their customers. But you're right in the sense of whenever I go into a brick-and-mortar store, especially actually if that brick-and-mortar store is in the States, sometimes in the UK, but certainly in the States, somebody's going to come up to me and go, hey, how can I help you today? Or some variant of that question, aren't they? And if they're likable, if they're personable, if they kind of know what they're doing, they're probably going to engage me pretty well. And at some point, I'm going to buy something. A good example of this, Shauli, actually, last weekend, I was up visiting my son in St. Andrews and his fiancée up at the very famous golfing town in Scotland. And I wanted to buy a gift for our host family. They like gin. So there's this really lovely kind of... have you ever been to St. Andrews, by the way?
No, never.
No, okay. There's this beautiful kind of whiskey shop at the end of the street. And I every time I go, I go there. And I just walked in. He said, how can I help you? And I was like, I just need some gin. And he said, go talk to that fella over there. And this guy just talked to me about gin for like 15 minutes. And I ended up buying not one bottle, but two. And I tried all his variant gins. And I'm a bit of I like his stuff. But that would have never happened on an e-commerce website, right? You look at the label, you look at the price. Do I want it? Yes or no? I don't know if I do. But because of that personal interaction, I think it changed my shopping experience. And the reason I go into that shop is not because it's the cheapest, but because every time I've gone in, the guys just talk to you and make you feel welcome and give you some good product recommendation. So I love what you're trying to do and how you then do that on e-commerce websites, because people have been trying that in various different guises for years. And it seems like this is perhaps one of the key benefits of AI for e-commerce owners.
Yeah, no, totally. So I think obviously it wouldn't be able to happen without AI. So AI is the key driver for this to happen. But there's no doubt that what drives that higher conversion rate is the level of personalization that that you get from the sales assistant, from the AI in the end. So what we do is that we track the behavior of customers from the moment they walk into the website, the moment they log in, the moment they hit the enter through a campaign, the moment they're on the website, we start tracking everything they're doing to build a customer profile basically on them. So to understand exactly what they're interested in. And what happens in the background, the AI tries to evaluate if this customer will end up buying by itself, by himself or herself, or if this customer needs some assistance. And when the AI gets that signal that this customer will not buy, the AI approaches that customer with basically very similar to what the experience you had in that liquor shop, but with the whole context of what they've been doing. So if you were checking out gin bottle, for example, the AI would know that. So the AI would come in with an approach of, hey, we saw that you checked out this bottle of gin, and if you bought before, the AI would know that as well. And if you checked out other, let's say, other brands or other products or other categories, other collections, the AI would know that too. So everything goes into that customer profile that's being rebuilt every interaction or everything you as a shopper you're doing. And the AI comes in, and that's the basis of the conversation. Then the AI lures you into the conversation with that proactive approach. And then from that moment on, the AI will do anything in its powers. Okay, it has a lot of powers, but anything in its powers to make sure that you end up as a happy customer. So if you need product recommendations, if you need to know the history of that gin distillery, for example, and that will push you in to buy that bottle or whatever is possible, because obviously the AI has all the knowledge of the store, the catalog, your purchase history, and other people's purchase history, so it's able to recommend products that are complementary, for example, or similar items. So it has all those tools, and again, the number one role is to make sure you come out as a happy customer.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm intrigued by it because to tell you how intrigued I am by it, I had a slight moment, Shauli, earlier on when I was driving from the office back to the studio here, and I knew you were coming on, and I was, I've got to the stage now where actually when we research guests, I use Perplexity, and Perplexity has this feature where it talks to you now. So it'll go away and it'll do a search and it'll come up with all this data. You press the headphone button and it just reads it out to you, and in quite a human manner. One of my questions that I asked, and I wanted to ask you this question because I thought this was really fun. When I realized what I'd done, as I'm driving home, I went, well, but do humans actually trust AI? And this is what I said to Perplexity. I've got it up here. It said, do humans trust AI? Which is more of a philosophical question, I suppose. But you're talking about some big upswings in buying behavior, which we'll get into, that this kind of technology brings. But what is a human response to AI? It was kind of lost on me for a minute that I was having this conversation with AI, right?
Yeah. You can prove the point, basically.
Yeah. And then I got out and I realized, I thought, oh, okay, this is interesting. And because this is just what I do now. I quite happily chat to AI, a significant portion of my day and have it read content back to me. Or if I'm going on a walk, I'll just have a chat with AI. And it seems like humanity is getting more and more accepting of the AI features. And I wanted to sort of start there a little bit because I know your company started earlier than 2023, but obviously you connected with ChatGPT in 2023. How have you found people's response to this?
To AI or to our solution in general, like in specific our solution or AI in general?
Yeah, specifically to your solution, because obviously that's where you've got the data. I mean, you're using AI now to drive that, and I'm curious to know how people are responding now with the.
So we definitely saw a huge transformation along the years. We started with 2020, where we went to customers and said, "Hey, what about the idea of having your AI on your website?" And a lot of the response we got was, AI is never going to be a thing. We don't believe in it.
Along with Bitcoin, that's never going to take off either, right?
Yeah. Or we said, and they said, okay, AI, how do you envision that? And we try to explain. It would be a chat on the website. And people said, a chat? AI chat? No way. That's never going to be a thing. That's a complete failure. You should go to voice because Alexa is the next thing. By the way, so we had a moment where we thought, okay, should we try to have the same solution on Alexa and basically allow brands to have an app on Alexa? And that was part of the path we took. But we strongly believed in AI chats on the websites because we had this, I would say, vision that AI chat would be the thing. So we saw this big transformation from merchants that are not believing it all to merchants that all of a sudden saying, hey, we'd be happy to be early adopters here. It looks cool. It might be the future. Let's try it out. To obviously today that, we see huge brands, enterprise brands that are coming to the realization, okay, we need AI on the website, and it's okay if we don't control everything it would say. It's okay. Letting go. Because that was the biggest hurdle over the years. Like, is it going to say things that we never, we're not going to dictate every word it's going to say? And it was hard for big brands to accept that. It was hard for SMBs to accept at the beginning. And now we're slowly getting to the maturity of that. So acceptance from merchants. And that's on the merchant side. From the shopper side, I would say shoppers also made obviously big transformation. Started from people thinking this is a human because there's no way the AI would speak like that. So they thought they're speaking to humans. Mm-hmm. And that happened a lot until a lot of our merchants, a lot of our brands basically said, okay, let's write the word AI because people get too confused and then they get upset when they figure out the truth. So they started using the word AI, and then people were treating it like a Google search. Red shirt, that's it. And that's what we got at the beginning. So people, writing one word, two words, that's it. That's the most that they looked at it as a search bar. And we're seeing the full transformation today where people are basically giving them the AI their full life story, and it's okay. All their problems and how they were fighting with their wives and the AI listens, so it's okay. And I don't think they would treat humans the same way. I don't think they would be that open with writing everything. And if it's if it's products that are a bit sensitive or sizes that are a bit sensitive, they're okay with telling the AI their sizes and everything. And it's pretty amazing to see that full adoption that happened.
It's interesting you say that because the research here that I've got in front of me, what drives human trust in AI chatbots, there's 4 key areas that it says. One is obviously the technology has got better. The reliability and competence of that technology has also got better. And I think if you can connect that with integrity, so you feel like actually this thing's on your side somehow, you do well. One of the things they said, which this connects with the 2 things that you've just said, and this really intrigued me because they said one of the things was perceived empathy. Chatbots that seem to understand and respond to user emotions foster a stronger sense of trust and engagement. And the non-judgmental nature of chatbots. So you talked about putting your sizes in. Many people feel more comfortable disclosing personal or sensitive information to chatbots than to humans, as AI is seen as a lot less judgmental and more anonymous.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was really intriguing. The fact that you've mentioned that, you see, they're the things that I would have gone, yeah, well, it's going to get me to my endpoint on the user journey quicker because it's going to, but these soft things, empathy and non-judgmental nature, they make a big difference. But how you quantify that, I have no idea, and I think it's quite fascinating that this is what's coming out in the research now.
Yeah. So I think it's from the merchant perspective, it's quantified by top line revenue. That's pretty much it. Seeing in the end that there's more revenue, there's bigger lifetime value as well. So, and seeing all that actually happening and being able to test it and A/B test it as well. So being able to say, hey, this is actually increasing my revenue. I can see that before and after. And yeah, there's no doubt that it's working.
So if I wanted to get started maybe with something like, like what you guys do, let's go through some of the sort of the technical side of things, Shauli, if we can. Like,
Yeah.
do I need to have like a certain data set? Do I need to be because years ago, I'd say a few years ago, years ago, like it was decades. Last Tuesday, you needed a really big data set. And the more data you had, the more accurate it was because that was all based on machine learning. Do we still need big data sets? Is this something that would resonate for a smaller e-commerce brand? Does it work specifically for, say, clothing brands? But if you're a single product site, does it work as well? What sort of things have you found work really well with the AI system?
It's a great question. I get that question all the time. So people ask, "Hey, I have only one product? Does that mean that I don't need it as much?" Now, the answer I would say is like, if you open a retail store, would you not have shop assistants there?
Mm.
And they would say, "Of course I would." Like, it's a mandatory thing in a retail store. There's no way to not have shop assistants because they help, they educate, they do whatever is needed to make sure that the customers in the end buy. And it's exactly the same. So if you have one product, most likely that product is going to be a very unique product that needs some convincing, needs some education, as opposed to a retail store, the clothing store, where you have thousands of SKUs. It's very easy to understand, right? You see a shirt and that's pretty much it. But there's a lot of them. So over there, the problem is different. It might be choice paralysis problem over an educational problem. But either way, a shop assistant in real life would be able to help with that. And in the same way, AI shop assistant. It's the same thing. It helps with the same problems. If there are too many products, let me help you with recommendation. Let me help you narrow down results. If there's a few products, but they're, let's say, very expensive, high price points, and there's a lot of convincing that has to happen, AI is amazing in that because it is there with its empathy and knowledge of the product and complete specs of the product, so able to explain what's the difference between that and why you should get the higher level, the better TV, for example. So the AI is there to do all that and help in any type of brand. So we actually see success by all different verticals. So from electronics to apparel to dog food, anything.
That's and does it matter about the data set size? Like if I was just starting a new store today, would it work, or do I need like 1 million rows of data for it to have any kind of meaning?
No, so also a good question. So what we do is we connect to the retail e-commerce store. So Shopify connection, one-click integration. We already have the entire catalog ingested inside. Same with purchase history. So we get and take the purchase history of the last couple of months to have all that data ingested to understand what people buy and to truly understand the catalog. Then the AI also crawls all the pages of the website. So any product pages, collection pages, even blog pages, anything to have that information. And that's the starting point. That's in one click, nothing. And then, of course, if if merchants want to add more information, they're able to add in more external information, but that's only if they need to and only if there's missing information. But to get going, you don't need to have nothing, basically. You're just your own website. That's it.
And I guess the thing AI is one of these things that gets smarter the more we use it, right? And
exactly.
Fair enough.
It learns during the process. So a lot of things that we actually highlight is that once the AI is on the website, the engagement rate goes up and up. And we typically see around 3% of the visitors on the website will talk to our AI. So that's a lot of people. And that brings in a lot of new knowledge about how shoppers buy and what they're interested in and so on. And also highlights missing information, things that shoppers ask about, and the AI doesn't have the information because it's not on the website. What we do is that we highlight that information in our management console where merchants can see, okay, people ask about this and that. There's no information on the website to explain that at all. and then merchants can add that information later on using the tools that we give them.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, if you are enjoying the show, and you are, in fact, in e-commerce yourself, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been around like me for a little while, whether you use Shauli's system or whether you don't, wherever you are, if you are in e-commerce, we have something called cohorts, which I'm a part of. We have a UK cohort, a US cohort just started, and also one in Australia. So New Zealand, the ANZ one, as we like to call it. It's free to join. There's more information on the website, ecommercepodcast.net. But if you want to come hang out with other e-commerce entrepreneurs, ask your questions, share your insights and thoughts, then do come join us. It's quite a fun little place just to come and chat, meet people. And we're starting up new cohorts all the time. So yeah, just go to the website, ecommercepodcast.net, and find out more information about it. We'd love to see you in there. So, Shauli, as you were talking, one of the things that sort of struck me, I suppose, was persuasion, right? This old-fashioned word of persuasion. Robert Cialdini, the persuasion. And if I'm selling a single product that's expensive and I need to persuade people, I can see how AI works, but I also get that there's a space for vending machines, that sell bottled water, because that's not. Is it a product? Yes, I suppose it is, but it's water in a bottle, isn't it? I don't need someone to sell me that. I just need a quick, easy way to buy it, which I think is what Amazon's become good at over the years.
Yeah.
That's where you go to if you want to buy your equivalent of the bottled water, I think, is Amazon. But one of the things I've noticed Amazon do, and I think most of us have noticed this over the last few months, is their AI shop assistant, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they're obviously thinking, yeah, we should probably add this to our site ourselves.
Yeah. They added Rufus.
Yeah.
It's doing a great job.
I don't know if was Rufus the name of the guy in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? The sort of the guy. Anyway, I'm just showing my age a little bit there. I just wondered if that's where they got the name from. I don't know why I thought about that. I just did. But it strikes me that what I love with companies like yourself, Shauli, is you make technology accessible. So it's not just Amazon that can benefit from it. Now, sure, they've got gazillions to spend on the development, and God bless them, But, we don't have to keep giving Jeff our money, do we? And so what you're doing is you're leveling the playing field and making this accessible for e-commerce. And this is one of the things that excites me about technology at the moment is just the ease of accessibility that we have. And I quite like that, if I'm honest with you. I think that's quite a nice thing to actually happen. And so, yeah, I appreciate you doing it. One question, I suppose, that comes out of all of this then, where's it going to? Because at the moment, we've got chatbots. Fairly soon we're going to be talking to AI like I do with Perplexity. You're not going to be able to distinguish it between a human voice and an AI voice. And then I see it as we're going to have video calls with AI, because it's crazy what Google can do with video now. And so where in your product roadmap, where's all this going to, do you think?
So the more, obviously, there's more adoption towards AI and towards usage of AI. So we're on top of that. And one of the things we're coming out with soon in Q4 is voice-to-voice full integration. So you're able to, as a shopper, you're able to just talk to the same way you talk to Perplexity, same exact idea, just on your website. So just on e-commerce websites, that's the next thing. But that's very short-term roadmap. The longer roadmap and the way I see things develop in the future is that there's going to be a portion of there's definitely going to be a portion of the traffic that actually will never go to the website, but will have a conversation, using Perplexity, using ChatGPT. They will have to talk to the website. So what we're started working on is it's called an MCP, Model Context Protocol. It's the way AIs actually talk to other AIs, basically. And some portion of the traffic will actually have an agent-to-agent conversation. So the shopper will actually use its own tool, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and that tool will speak to other AI agents on the website. And what we're working on is to be able to represent the brand and give them the agent to be able to do that. So that's, again, some portion of the traffic. Of course, a lot of the traffic would still come from Facebook campaigns, Instagram campaigns, TikTok. That's still going to be, that's still going to stay there. But the chat or the search traffic is slowly migrating. People see that towards ChatGPT, towards Perplexity, right? And we want to enable merchants to have the representation in those platforms. So again, the AI of those platforms will speak to our AI that represents the brand, represents the merchant, and the merchant needs to make sure that obviously there's more revenue for the merchant.
This is where it starts to get quite deep and quite fascinating. And so, and ladies and gentlemen, if you've not heard of MCPs before, it's worth just going onto YouTube and just watching a quick explainer video about what they are. This ability for AI to, in effect, talk to other applications or other bits of software on your behalf and get information back. It's kind of like APIs, but on speed in some respects, isn't it? It's the next sort of level. And I think it's a really interesting technology if it catches on. And I see it starting to catch on. And the fact that you're talking about this, Shauli, and about developing these MCPs, I think is quite fascinating, because you're right. The fact now, I mean, my favorite, the AI of choice for me is not actually ChatGPT anymore. I use Claude a lot, and actually Claude, were Claude the ones that sort of founded the whole MCP thing? Anyway, whichever way. Yeah. I've integrated a whole bunch with Claude. I don't even have to open up my email anymore. I can just say to Claude, I'll just, what's in my inbox that I need to look at, and just get rid of anything that I don't need to know about. And it goes away and it reads your email and it goes, well, read these, and I've thrown those away. You know, brilliant. It's the most extraordinary thing. And I think the fact that you're thinking about doing that with e-commerce, I think is actually really quite exciting, because I think you're right. We are using ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude now to research products. And I think if there's one thing that we've learned from TikTok and one thing we've learned from Instagram is actually when you build these platforms, make it so people can buy in the platform, right? If you really want to monetize it, make it so people can buy in the platform, which Instagram were a bit slow to do. Let's just be fair. And I think it's quite extraordinary. So do you think it's going that way, that we will be able to buy products in our ChatGPT, in our Claude models?
Definitely. It's already happening. I know that a lot of companies are moving that way to make sure that happens, and ChatGPT is all for it. ChatGPT wants to kill Google, basically, search, Google Shopping and Google Search in general, and bring the traffic their way. So they're definitely moving that direction. And that's why our job is to enable brands to be able to compete with that. Because otherwise, the brand that doesn't have that representation will just get lost. And it's definitely going that way. The portion of the search traffic, for sure, no doubt. Again, there's other traffic sources, email, social. That's going to stay in their domain. But the search traffic is slowly moving from Google towards Perplexity, Claude, and ChatGPT.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? It just, I mean, you do wonder what Google's obviously got Google Gemini, which they're trying like crazy to get everybody to use and integrating everything into Google for the same reason. They want to hold on to, I think, that search traffic. And to be fair, they probably got access to way more data than every man, and they should be able to make it work. But it's going to be, AI is going to be the sort of the next thing, isn't it? Everyone's always wanting to know what the next thing is. Where's the next source of customers going to come from? It was email, then Google search came along, and then Facebook came along, and then it was Instagram, and then it was TikTok. And we sort of go through these, oh, right, what's the next one I need to get my head around? And it very much feels like it's going to be AI, doesn't it? With these, like you say, everyone's sort of thinking about this, like, how do I get ChatGPT to know that I exist, so that when someone asks about product X, we come up. I think it's there's a big opportunity for companies, isn't there, if they can crack that early doors, I would have thought.
Yeah. So I think it's super important to be on top of the technology and understand where it's going and be ahead of the curve, because that can obviously help with competition. And I think merchants should always think of how to be ahead and definitely not be behind. So don't be late for the party.
That's the title of today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be late to the party. So how long do you think it will be before you have the MCP technology? When are we going to start to see something like that come to play?
So it obviously has to go also with adoption of the traffic that buys through ChatGPT, through Claude. We're seeing that it's somewhere in 2026 is going to become something. So we're developing it ahead, so we'll be there. So once the adoption is there, once shoppers actually want to buy without viewing the website, then we'll be there and we'll be able to offer that. So we'll already have early customers that are using that specific feature.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm very excited by that, and I will be keeping an eye on the website to understand what is going on there, because I do think you're onto something. I really do. I think that's quite clever. One of the things, I mean, sort of rewinding back a little bit. So we've talked a little bit about the future. If we come back to the present day, one of the things that I asked you again before we hit record was, what's the one mistake we're all making? And you said that it was that we're thinking that AI is just really about customer support only. Do you want to expand on that a little second?
Yeah, definitely. So again, our offering is to have AI that helps with sales on the website. AI is a chatbot, AI that's on the text medium. And a lot of brands, when we offer that to them or we have a conversation, a lot of marketers, head of e-coms will say, hey, okay, that's chat. Chat is none of my business, sorry. Chat belongs to the CX department, to the customer support department, and will not even understand that it is there to also help with sales. And this is the main function we actually promote, AI that helps with sales. It also helps with support, no problem. If someone wants to know their order status, no problem. But it's there to mainly make sure that the top line is higher, that we increase revenue, increase conversion rate, and average order value. That's the main thing. And that's usually not, I would say, ignored, or like that possibility is ignored. So I think that's the number one mistake, is that they're handing off the conversation to support instead of keeping it themselves and saying, I'm the owner of this, I'm the owner of conversion, I'm the owner of sales on the website, and I should use every tool possible, especially new tools that are not coming out, that will help me do my job.
Yeah, no, that's great. I get that. I understand that there has to be a mental shift, isn't there, in the head of the guy or gal who's running the whole shebang and getting that up and running. One crazy thought that came into my head, sort of sideways there, Shauli, as you were talking. Is there a site out there? I don't know if you know the answer, and ladies and gentlemen, if you know the answer, I'd be curious to see it. That actually you go to the site and it is purely AI driven. There is no navigation, right? Where you literally go on the site. It's an e-commerce site, but it's all conversational. Has anyone done that? And I'm curious to know what the results are. So there's no nav, there's no products, there's no store, there's no shop by category or whatever. It's just literally, welcome to the store. Tell me what you want. I'm your concierge, and I'm going to go away and I'm going to start to build this for you.
So I personally don't know of any website that has made that shift yet. I truly believe that this is the future. Okay, the future is there. So our solution, by the way, allows brands to have that ability. So if they on mobile, that's how it looks. So the moment the shopper speaks to the AI, it goes on full screen on mobile, and the AI does everything for the shopper. So adding to cart, showing products, even moving to checkout. So moving between different pages. So the AI can actually completely replace the navigation of the website. There's no need for that anymore. So the ability is there. And I truly believe that we'll start seeing more and more websites that will say, hey, you know what? I don't need the actual website anymore, because, especially on mobile, by the way. Desktop, it's a different thing. You can see a lot of products all at once. It's nice. On mobile, it's not. On mobile, you can see one product at a time, and you have to flip between dozens, hundreds of different products, right? And the ability of having AI is that AI is able to narrow down those results, have a conversation, saying, you know what, we've got thousands of products. Let me ask you a few questions about yourself to try to know you so I can recommend you something, right? So that experience is obviously much, much better than viewing thousands of products on mobile. And this is the shift that's going on. And I truly believe that next year we're going to see some websites that are going to be 100% conversational.
I'm actually, as you're talking, I'm actually thinking there's a few websites that I have where I'm thinking, how can I make that happen? Just as an experiment, I'd be really curious to see what the results were. So I'm going to have a little ponder on that. One of them is actually on Shopify, so I'm kind of like, I wonder if I could. Anyway, I will just now go down a rabbit hole in my head, which is probably not helpful. But Shauli, listen, as I say this regularly to guests, but I genuinely mean it all the time. It just feels like we're just getting started with the conversation, but I am aware of time. So, if people want to reach you, if they want to connect with you, if they want to find out more about HelloRep.ai, how do they do that? What's the best way to reach you?
So go on our website, HelloRep.ai, and if you talk to sales, and from a certain stage you're going to be talking to our sales, and we're going to instruct you on how to just optimize your account better. By the way, it's a fully self-serve platform, plug and play. So it's super easy to interact, to go live. We offer 30-day free trial, super important, and we offer ROI guarantee on your results. So we guarantee ROI of 5x on your results, basically. So if you can see an increase in sales of at least 5 times the price point, the tier value, then you won't have to pay us. Simple as that. So there's no risk on your side. And we offer 20% off to any of listeners of the show. So please mention that you heard us on the show, and you'll get 20% off. Yeah.
Brilliant. There you go. Can't say fairer than that. So the website again is hellorep.ai. Shauli, listen, there's a couple of things I need to do before we sign off. Number one is I want to ask for the question for Matt. This is where you give me a question and I go away on the wonderful social media and we'll answer the question over there. As I've said to people over the months we've been doing this, ask me any question you like. What's your question, my friend?
All right. Since you're a fan of American football now, I'm going to ask you what do you think why is American football better than English soccer or vice versa? And what tips would you give to someone who's also new to American football and doesn't know much about it, and how to be more of a fan of this new sport, for me at least?
Okay, very good question. Very, very good question. I'm trying to think how I would answer this, but let's not do that now. I'll do that on social media. So if you've not done so already, come follow me on LinkedIn at Matt Edmondson, and we will post the content there at some point. The second thing I like to do, Shauli, right at the end of the show, I call it now saving the best till last. What's your best tip, your best strategy for our listeners regarding this whole topic of AI in shopping that we've not already covered? I want to give them the most insane value, the best value to those that listened right till the end. What would it be?
I would say always listen to what's out there, always explore new tools, be ahead of the curve, don't be a lagger. It's very important. And just truly evaluate tools in their sophistication and the value that they bring. So value is very important. Don't just jump into something because it has a nice buzzword, but actually try and see the value. And if it brings value, then it's great. If it doesn't, then explore other options. That's my tip for today.
I love that. And this describes half my life at the moment, is just trying different things with different pieces of software and just figuring out what's working well for us and ditching what's not working well for us, which is super, super helpful. So, Shauli, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Genuinely love the conversation. I thought it was fascinating. Really intrigued to see where it goes. And all the best with HelloRep AI, and let me know when you get the MCP thing working.
Will do. Thank you.